goes. Just the way it goes.
Degrees.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 26 of the Hookup on Music podcast. We have been putting it together this week and trying to see what we could come up with, and I think we've got some good stuff for you today. First of all, thank you again for listening. We definitely appreciate that. We also want to thank you for yourself, always listening to music, because, that's why we're here. We're here to listen to music. We're here to talk about it. We're here to have a good time while we are doing that. Okay, well, tonight, what we are going to do is going to go through some really good stuff. Like last week, we started our brand new segment where we're going to go over something a little funky, a little heavy, a little alternative, a little jammy, and a little groovy. Really good. So let's see what we got cooking up for tonight. All right. As far as funky goes, okay, we always like to get funky here. It's probably one of my top things that we really love to do. And from 1975's The Mothership Connection, we're going to talk about a song called Handcuffs. Okay, classic jam that is funky. Okay, the lead lyrics in this song is it is just really going to, what's the word I'm looking for? Going to bring you into a different place, a place that is intergalactical, which as you hear the lyrics is, "Oh, do I have to put my handcuffs on you, mama?" Really funky, awesome jam. That Parliament Funkadelic record, Mothership Connection, from front to back, is definitely worth checking out. But check out Handcuffs. As far as heavy goes, we got a little bit of Ministry here. Okay, a little bit of Psalm 69. Okay, this album just yesterday celebrated its 31st birthday. Album is loaded from front to back. Lots and lots of good stuff. It was recorded, majority of it was recorded in Chicago at the Chicago Track Studios. Lots of good tracks. Jesus Built My Hot Rod, NWO, Just One Fix. The title track really gets going once it kicks in. But an overall awesome album that if you have it, it's been a little while since you've listened to, go back and check that out. As far as alternative goes, been listening to a little bit of the Minutemen, a band that I've heard, I've listened to, but I had not really put in the time as much as, you would think that somebody who listens to all this music. And they're a band from San Pedro, California. Unfortunately ended a lot too soon. But check out Double Nickels on the Dime. A really awesome album that I think is really worth your time. A lot of songs on this album. Okay, there is over 40 tracks. Um, the vinyl is a double vinyl, so a lot of good stuff there. A lot of good stuff to check out. Good tunes, good deep tunes, all around. Um, also, here we have a little bit of the jammy, which we always got to get to, and that NASA. I don't know if I ever pronounce it right. That May 15th and 16th, 1980 show of the Grateful Dead. Really enjoy that. I always play it. Althea. Play that song quite a bit. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Althea. I think it's Althea. Pronouncing that pretty good, but again, good live album there to check out if it's been a little while or you're looking for something different by the Dead. And groovy a little bit at the top there, um, a band that has had some minor success, okay? Um, but this album, Dusk, okay, this album, came out in 1993, okay, so it's 30 years old, okay, it came out in January, but there's a song on here called "Helpline Operator." The guitar, really groovy, really it's kinda one where you lower the lights a little bit and you let it overtake you. It's really good in that way. But all 5 of these, check out the Ministry, Grateful Dead, Parliament, and Minutemen, all really worth your time. My time last night was spent, at this show, the Stone Temple Pilots Local 8 show. It was a free show besides parking. Been to quite a few there. But seeing a band like Stone Temple Pilots, recently we went through the what ifs. When I think of a big what if, Stone Temple Pilots are a huge one. If Scott Weiland didn't get involved in some of the negative stuff that he got involved in and didn't pass away, would this band be playing arenas, more akin to like a Pearl Jam? Um, or will they be playing shows like this, which is awesome outdoor venue, but it's a free show. Really cool was about a couple weeks ago, Local H made the announcement that they were also going to be playing, which also really like Local H. I mean, how can you go wrong when you got some Local H? That right there is track. That is, the 13th song that they played last night here, right here on the screen here, and if you're not watching and you're just listening, um, Local H played 13 songs last night, okay? They started with John the Baptist Blues. This is the first time they played this song since 2018. Was really awesome, but they played a lot of good stuff. Bound for the Floor, Eddie Vedder Might Be songs that, you may know. Um, some deeper stuff, which was cool, like Cool Magnet. Ending with fiving MF, high fiving motherfucker. That is the last. That was the track we played to start off this little bit of information on the show last night. And then Stone Temple Pilots, they had to cut their gig short last night because of 10 songs, um, because of lightning, but still, putting it out there, lots of good tracks, lots of deep, heavy stuff. Heavy in the terms of, something that you're gonna wanna get in your car and drive really fast. Stone Temple Pilots have always been just I think a pedal to the metal, sometimes a little bit, psychedelic, but overall a hard rock band. Their lead vocalist, Jeff Gutt, who's been with them since 2017, does a really good job kind of filling the role that Scott Weiland had, occupied. And Chester Bennington from Linkin Park spent a little bit of time with Stone Temple Pilots. Not a lot of people talk about that, but, that being said, um, Big Bang Baby, huge, one of my favorite songs from their third album. Back in 1996, after Stone Temple Pilots released their third album, Tiny Music Songs from the Vatican Gift Shop, Stone Temple Pilots and Local H actually did a show together, um, that was, in actually, ironically, that NASA Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. Really awesome, uh, set list. I mean, Stone Temple Pilots that night played 25 songs. Now, last night they were only able to play 10 songs because of lightning and thunder. So you miss maybe some songs that you were hoping to hear, like Interstate Love Song or Dead and Bloated. But still, with the time that they had on stage, because the other three members are still the same guys who played on every other album. So you're only missing Scott Weiland, and the singer, Jeff Gutt, does a pretty good job. Back on that other show, though, they did play Dead and Bloated on that show. They did also play Interstate Love Song, and they played Lady Picture Show, which was from that Vatican album, which I enjoyed. Local H, of course, they played Eddie Vedder, they played High Five, and they played Bound to the Floor, they played Fritz's Corner, which was probably my first song that I heard by them. But overall, really, really good show, great experience. Cool seeing bands like this and being able to go out there and see a price a show at a nice price. So very, very, very awesome. What we want to do now, and what we're going to start to do a little bit, a lot of bits, a little bit, it depends, is we're going to look a little bit deeper into different bands. And by looking deeper, I've compiled what I would deem a little bit of a deeper song list. So what we want for people and for people on the show to do is, if you would like to ever come on and join me, you could pick a band. And what I'd like you to do is you could pick 14 songs by this band, and we'll showcase them, and we'll showcase the songs, and we'll showcase, the band. And tonight, to kind of get started, I'm going back a little bit to my roots. My roots being, heavy. And tonight we're going to look a little bit into Black Sabbath. Now, what I've done tonight is, by going through all of their albums, okay, I have compiled 13 songs that I think that are, the ones, like, unfortunately, Iron Man, War Pigs, Paranoid, Sweet Leaf, not going to be on this Children of the Grave, not going to be on this list here of 13 songs. I wanted to go a little bit deeper on a band, that was formed in 1968. They started with the name Earth. I'm kind of wondering, if they would have stuck with Earth, would they have even made it even into a second album? Because when you hear the word Earth, and then you find out that the band changed it to Black Sabbath, and what their music and everything entitled and showcased, you may say to yourself, Black Sabbath was probably a little bit of a better, a bit of a better decision. Black Sabbath, of course, though, started with Tony Iommi on guitar, Bill Ward on drums, Geezer Butler on bass, and Ozzy Osbourne on vocals. Okay, now in 1980, they release Heaven and Hell, which has Ronnie James Dio on vocals. And then the next album with Ronnie James Dio, The Mob Rules, they are also really, 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 what's the word I'm looking for? Clicking. They're clicking on all cylinders. But unfortunately, right around that time, right before Vinny Appice joins them on that album, and right before, at that time, they go and they kind of start to slide a little bit down. But through those albums there, I'm going to kind of pick what I would deem 13 tracks that I think that you really should listen to by Black Sabbath. The band, okay? If you're a fan of heavy music, you are a fan of Black Sabbath. If you're not a fan of Black Sabbath and you are a fan of heavy music, well, then I don't know what to say. You may just not like something, which is okay. We always say that here. There may be some things on certain bands you like, and there might be some things on certain other bands you don't like. But really, really, for me, Black Sabbath, the instrumentation to me is number one, in lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of ways. The drums by Bill Ward, Geezer Butler's bass, Tony Iommi's guitars, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Really kind of bring it to to the forefront. Geezer Butler did a lot of songwriting, a lot of lyric writing for the band. Um, but let's jump into this list. Okay, let's see what we got here. Number one on my list that I think is one that would be a deep cut is a Hand of Doom off of Paranoid, off of Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Okay. Um, Hand of Doom, that bass to get started for me. Hearing that, I think I was like 10 or 11 or 12. Dad had the stereo up so loud. Man, when those drums kick in, to me, there was really, really, really nothing like that at that time when I heard that. Also, just that name, Hand of Doom, and then you kind of realize later, and you kind of figure out what actually Hand of Doom, the song, is about. Okay, Hand of Doom is about you know the U.S. soldiers who are coming back with huge drug addictions, and we're not talking like little drug abuse. We're talking about like heroin. Okay. A lot of bands have covered this song. Slayer has done a cover. Danzig has done a cover. Um, really, really, really what I would deem an essential Black Sabbath tune. Um, then you kind of could switch and go into the void off of Masters of Reality, which I really think is another one of theirs, what you would call a peak. I'd call that a peak Sabbath song for many, many different reasons. The guitar work is awesome. Um, it has been said that this song has inspired some of metal's greatest, like James Hetfield, states it's his favorite song. Um, Eddie Van Halen stated that the main riff is also one of his favorites. Really, 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 really awesome. Soundgarden does a version. I mean, you're going to find out a lot of these artists do versions of these songs. Um, your heavy bands and even some non-heavy bands. Okay. The Cardigans. You may remember that song, Love Me, Love Me. They did a couple Sabbath covers. Really, really awesome. Um, Now we're going to go into volume 4, which is probably, if you were to ask me, my favorite Black Sabbath album. We're going to go with the lead off track on that one. That one is Wheels of Confusion. Okay. If you want Sabbath to go in a little bit of a proggy direction, this is definitely it. It's a long song, definitely different moving parts. I like the way the album is mic'd. Really, 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 really awesome. Really, really, really favorite. We started this whole little segment with that's Supernaut. That's also from volume 4. Um, Really, really, really awesome bands. Again, you say to yourself, um, Black Sabbath isn't a band like a lot of people talk about Led Zeppelin, who we love here, but in a lot of ways, Sabbath was just as influential and as huge in a way as the Led Zeppelin. Um, um, Beck, I'm a loser, baby. He states that Supernaut is his favorite riff of all time. He loves that. Also a favorite of Frank Zappa and John Bonham. Um, a lot of drums in that song. Drum solos when they would play it live. Um, I heard there's rumors that there was there was a jam session a long time ago with Zeppelin and Sabbath, and this was the song that John Bonham wanted to play. But that being said, going back into um, that was our 4th track, going into our 5th track, back into Paranoid's Electric Funeral. Song lyrics, amazing. Again, Sabbath peeking out, doing awesome, 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 awesome things. I like the song a lot because I believe this is the one that I first heard, the title. And you hear this title, Electric Funeral. It sounds heavy and it sounds awesome. Electric Funeral is a must. Just like another one that is a huge, huge, huge must that I really, really, really enjoy. Um, and that's Heaven and Hell. Okay, this is the lead track. What I would deem is the lead track to Dio's era in the band. Okay. The bass again, I like there's like an echo effect on the bass that really, 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 um, really, really, really dark and heavy. Um, there's a little bit of keyboards in the background. The lyrics are kind of really kind of medieval. It was a little bit different for the band, but definitely worth checking out, and definitely should be on the list of ones, especially if you haven't really dug deep into that Dio era. Um, one that I'm gonna go into a little bit, and that is in the volume 4. Okay, this song is really, really, really different than anything else that they've done. Um, it's changes, and it's just a piano with Ozzy just singing his voice. Now, a lot of people would say Ozzy doesn't have the best voice. I don't know, something about this song grabs me. Um, Speaking of grabbing me, off of Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is Sabracadabra. A great track. Also covered by lots and lots and lots of different artists. A lot of garage bands have covered Sabracadabra that I have heard. Metallica's also covered it. They're not quite the garage band, but they did cover it on their Garage Inc., um, which a lot of people had mixed viewings for, but listening for viewings for. We're going to go back a little bit into. Um, we're going to go into back into that album Masters of Reality, and that's Lord of This World. Another one of my favorite tracks. Probably a lot of air guitar to that one, drums, all of it kicking in all at once. Definitely a must for any Sabbath fan. Sabotage, the album cover, always really left me a little bit wondering some of the outfits they were wearing. Bill Ward looks like he's a dwarf. Ozzy's wearing a pretty ridiculous robe, but overall, really, really good and heavy album. And Hole in the Sky is definitely a song that you're going to want to check out from that. Didn't pick anything from Technical Ecstasy or Never Say Die. Not really, really worth it. But what I did pick was um, The Wizard from the debut album. Hearing Ozzy on microphone, I mean, my microphone is always on the microphone. Hearing Ozzy on a little bit of harmonica, very, very interesting. Next up, I picked is another Dio era from that Mob Rules album. It's Sign of the Southern Cross. In the last couple of years, this is a song that I've been playing probably the most because it's probably the freshest one in my head. Another longer track, medieval lyrics, bass, awesome, dark. The guitar's really, really cool. Really, really, really worth checking out. The last two songs here on our little Sabbath breakdown is Fairies Wear Boots, the last track off of Paranoid. Awesome lyrics. Again, imagining little fairies from like the Peter Pan, little boots running around. Pretty much about a song about psychedelia. Okay, it's definitely one of my favorite, and another one of the earlier ones that I heard. Um, Paired up with the Jack the Stripper, which has a little instrumentation at the back in the bank in the beginning. Um, you know, Ozzy composed the lyrics on this one. Again, Butler stated that Ozzy's lyrics often went off in random tangents, and the second half of the song was about it. So it's all over the place. Drums, bass, guitar, though, pulled in really good, really tight, really awesome album. And the last song I'm picking for this little deep dive into Black Sabbath is probably my favorite Black Sabbath song. I think it's heavy. I think the lyrics are crazy. I think it's It's again another song about drug abuse. This time we're focusing in on cocaine and also its dangers, and that's Snowblind. Um, Different rhythms. There's a part in the middle that really, really, really takes off. System of a Down does a really, really cool cover. Um, but all around, all the instrumentation with Ozzy's voice mixed off of Volume 4 makes Snowblind really, really, really worth checking out. Um, but those are a little bit deeper into that Sabbath catalog. So that being said, um, check out some Sabbath. Why not? If it's been a little while and you want to look a little bit deeper, like we just did, please, 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 please do. Because that's why we're here. We're here to look a little bit deeper. We're here to go to some live shows. We're here to talk to some people about this and about that. And that's that. Okay. Before we kind of head off here tonight, earlier when I was talking about bands that I believe that we all should or songs that I believe we should listen to, when I dove into the alternative, I talked about a little bit of a band called the Minutemen. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm blown away because that song is the lead off song on the television show Jackass, which did not know that until recently, that the Minutemen did that song. Every now and then I'll be like, "I've heard some songs, but I wanna go deeper." And, this was one of those bands, and they have a really huge, what could have been story. Um, Boon, lead singer of the band, guitar player, all around seemed to be a really, 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 really awesome, um different genres, mixing different genres, unfortunately passed away at the age of 27, due to a car accident. Okay, he wasn't feeling well. He was laying down in the rear of the van, unfortunately without a seatbelt, and the axle broke of the van. Um, Boone was thrown out of the back door of the van. Unfortunately, he passed away right there. He was 27 years old. Boone, um, in Minutemen, was Mike Watt. Mike Watt's awesome because Mike Watt has been in so many different things from Firehose. He's been in solo stuff. The Red Hot Chili Peppers dedicated their best-selling album to him, one of their best-selling albums, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, to um, Mike Watt. So this band and Dean Boone passing away at such a young age. I mean, listen to that song. He never got to hear that song in Jackass. But just really, really kind of gets me when I'm listening to a band and looking into a band and you kind of, well, you say, what more could have this band been? You know, he passed away in 85. Okay. What would his influence been? You know, his guitar style was very distinctive. Um, he liked to set the equalization on his amp so only the treble frequencies could be heard. The bass and the mid-range frequencies would be turned off completely. Um, Style is a heavy funk blues mix. Okay. And they were very, very, very different from other hardcore punk bands of that time. Um, but here today, what I want you to do is go back, listen to some D Boon, listen to some Minutemen, listen to that album I talked about earlier. Um, Definitely double nickels on the dime. You know, what makes a man start fires, the punchline. Listen to any album by them. Just to listen to Dean Boone and listen to kind of sometimes what we talk about, the what could have beens. But I want to thank everybody. I'm always thanking people. I'm thanking you. I'm thanking you, and I'm thanking you because without you, we wouldn't be here. Love chatting it up. Love talking about music. Tonight was a great show. Go back and look at some of those artists that I talked about. Listen to that Parliament album. Listen to D Boon and Minutemen. Listen to those Black Sabbath songs. But just listen to music. Um, Check out a live show. Do what you can to support all things that are awesome in music. And do me a favor, go on and head on down to the Penguin Sadistic YouTube channel and check out some of the other stuff that we got going on there. Always a really good time. Always enjoying myself. But until next time, go ahead and follow me on the Hookup on Music, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow me on the Sugar Baggy personally at the old both Instagram and Twitter. All of this is available audio. All of this is available wherever you listen. Please, 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 if you'd like to join in and like to look a little bit deeper on a band or a specific topic, do not be afraid to reach out. We would love, love, love to rock out. Always love rock out. It's what we like to do and like to keep it funky. So everybody, please, 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 like we always like to say, I want you to have a really good rest of your weekend, whenever you happen to listen to this. And until next time, we will talk to you soon.